studio guy. Hello, my name is Joe Schafer. I am an artist in Durango, Colorado. I work out of the Smiley building and in a room they call the art room, which is a shared space with 20 other artists. It's open to the public, and this is my studio. I'm working on a piece that is all my work is mixed media. It's also on sheet metal. And so the sheet metal allows me to really build the textures heavy. And I can also scrape and sand and kind of whittle away, almost carve, if you will, on a piece, and kind of see where they go. They're generally pretty abstract. I might have an idea of where I want the piece to head, but really I just kind of let it do its thing and see if I can come up with something that I like. The reason I like to use sheet metal is I can really build heavy textures. I can also scrape and sand and do various things. This piece has a fair amount of sand that has kind of left some of these rivulets, and then I'll enhance those, trying to turn them into some sort of landscape. I thought this was kind of a fun, interesting little desert scape. This diptych, this is a 4 foot by 2 foot diptych. Evoking to me that sense of so much of the beautiful country in the Southwest, but mainly I'm seeing a lot of the Navajo reservation, and I was really inspired by a young Navajo lady that likes to come by and check out my work. So really helped me push this piece along. This is a obvious sunset-y piece I'm working on with heavy texture. I also have quite a bit of texture in the sky, still a work in progress. The cool thing about this is, you can really see the metal and the challenges that offers, also the benefits. So it's really an interesting, fun medium to paint on. Let's see. Over here, I have 4 pieces stacked together I'm working on at the same time, and then 2 pieces in completion. You can also see the state of my affairs. I was going to clean up for the photo shoot, but you see where I got. To give you an idea of some of the things that I really like to use, well, I can't give you secret recipes, but that's like the perfect paint material for me. I love it. Thick and heavy. It's a mixture of paint and some textural mediums. There's sand in there and quite a bit of binder. And so all kinds of different colors. I'll do it in different ways. I love to use water to run through various textural mediums. Here's a darker, kind of the same consistency. Also, this is all dried up, but I can take water, reconstitute it, and use it as kind of a slurry. So different colors, different things, kind of depending on what I want to do. I usually just mix up a little batch, and then good old black. Anyway, a lot of the materials that I use and the techniques I use, I think, are fairly, I'm sure there's some other crazy artist that does similar things, but I think they're fairly unique. And that's probably one of the reasons I get the effects that I do. Other things that are kind of fun, I don't use it a ton, but every once in a while, this is basically a clay that I can get in the area. This is right off the ground. I reconstitute it with water, and it gives the coolest sagey colors. Then I lock it into the piece. So I also have a fair amount of sands and other products that I will use. I don't use them all the time, but they're definitely fun textural aspects that I like to push into the pieces. Other things that I like to use, let's see. Um, just household paint. I'll use often paints right from the hardware store, testers, things like that. All I'm trying to do is add a little bit of color. They work great. They're super cheap. And they have various features that other paints won't use. Usually latex, but I use a fair amount of oils also, artist paints, kind of depending on what I like to use. Thick and goopy is kind of my favorite, but yeah, so greens and reds and just kind of whatever pops into my head. As far as my journey as an artist, I've lived in Durango since '83. I moved here to go to Fort Lewis when I was 18. And I've been a house painter for the majority of that time. I've done other things, but kind of in my mid 50s, 53 maybe, I started goofing around with art, and I was using sheet metal for other purposes. Mainly, I was using it for vanity tops, like in kitchens or bathrooms. And I would rust it and patina it, do all kinds of kind of funky stuff. And they were really pretty cool. My wife, who I consider the real artist in that she's trained and she's very good, she said, you should think about these as far as doing landscapes. And so I started messing around and I just completely fell into it and really haven't looked back. It's just been an awesome little journey. So I've been doing this now 6 years, or just over 6 years, and I'm a full-time artist, and this is my process. My work is very experimental. I have no training as an artist, so I've really just been winging it from the start. And I think what I do is relatively, I don't know if I'd say unique necessarily, but it's different than maybe a traditional landscape artist. But in the beginning, all I have in my head, maybe some colors, a photograph, and see where it goes. Often, my initial idea will take an immediate left turn, which is fine. And so I guess for me, a big part of that process is giving myself permission that has worked. I think I'm close to, somewhere around 250, 300 paintings that I've made and sold. And so a big part of it for me is just keep doing what I've been doing. Try not to get too critical. Try not to compare myself to other artists. Try not to look at the way they're doing things to the way I'm doing things. So I call that giving myself the permission to do what I do. The other thing that does for me is it allows me to set the worries of the world aside and just embrace the creative. I love to just fall into a piece. I kind of forget about time, place. Usually I'm rocking out and at the end of the day, see where I am. I've been able to make enough money to survive doing my artwork solely. I'm wanting to get into some other regions. as far as other gallery representation and see, I don't know what's in Santa Fe, what's in Telluride, some of these other mountain towns, and see if I'll have the success that I've had here there. So that's kind of a fun part of the journey. Oh, you're catching me in all my glory here. Schafer's world of chit chat. But it really is something. It's like, man, when I'm at my house, I live out in this country. It's like nowhere to talk to. I don't get bored. I could do it, by myself all day. But it's just like I really like having people come by and just picking up on their energy. Right? What do you do? What turns you on? It's kind of cool. And when winter came, I was still kind of doing some work out here, but then I moved into the shop, which took some work. And now most of the time I'm working out of Smiley, although I still work out of here some. There's some really cool effects that I can get on pieces when the materials I'm using that are water-based will start to freeze. They'll freeze in like a frost pattern that you get on your windshield. And every once in a while, I'm starting to figure out how to lock it into place. And I've had, I think now 3 or 4 pieces that are really cool where that pattern, I've been able to keep it into piece. So anyway. Whoa, check out our sunset. There you go. It's not all bad living at 8,300 feet. Oh yeah, you should. So this is my wife, Becca, and our dog, Luna. Becca's going to go for a little cross-country ski in what we call the backyard, which is nice because we don't own it. Thanks, Jack. Yeah.
You ready, girl?
Yeah, put those babies on. Show us how you do it.
I got the old school. Wrap.
Right.
3-pin binding.
Right. So, funny story, a couple years ago, we were having winter and I'm running the snowblower and I don't know, Becca had put her skis up and the wind had knocked them down. I didn't know. I ran the snowblower into the tail of her ski. Took off that much of her ski, which obviously she was very bummed out about. Right.
The next fall, we were at a ski swap in Durango.
Right. I mean, these are like 40-year-old skis. Most people throw them in the garbage.
They were getting ready.
They were, right. So they gave them to us. Yeah. The skiing in the backyard, it's super fun. It's generally pretty flat. There's some little hills. There's one, I mean, you can go up it. We usually go down it. We call it Death Hill because it's half covered in scrub oak and it is a little scary. but it's pretty fun. The dog loves it. We'll often ski over to our neighbors who are dog sledders. They're about 2 miles up, so it's not too bad of a ski. Or we'll meet them halfway. Sometimes we do moonlight skis, which is super fun too. Hi, beautiful. What are you doing, mountain dog? Good girl. Come on in. Luna, come on, girl. Oh, hi, Sophie.
I worked the first day and I was definitely getting some work.
I bet you were. That's funny. Hey, thanks, you guys. I'm going to stay in here where I'm warm. So I got pneumonia over the holidays, which was really pretty awful. I'm still kind of healing. So we got the kids to come up to shovel off the roofs, which they're not super excited about. We'll feed them dinner. Slave labor. It's kind of a fun piece. I was trying to, at this point I was doing a little bit more realistic. I did kind of a cool half dome piece, and this is off that super iconic view of the Tetons north of Jackson a ways, where everyone stops and takes photos. Anyway, it was kind of a fun piece, playing around with textural aspects, and yeah. And in the beginning, I wasn't framing them. The frame was hidden and it was in the back. I've changed that up now. Now I have wood frames that I'm really proud of. They're really nice. I don't make them. I have a friend that makes them. They really give the pieces a lot of support. They also just really nicely frame the work, and I think since my work is, I would say, maybe on the rough side texturally, but they really kind of complete the piece, and it's a nice polished product, I think. Now, I guess the other thing, you know, I'm getting close to 60 and 59. I gotta figure out a way of making more money doing my art. I'm lucky. I got kids that I love. They love me. I've got a wife that's just supportive, and you know, she was the real artist. She studied art. She went to art high school. She's like super good. And then her dumbass husband kind of starts doing art, and I start having success. And I think there's a side of her that was like, wait, what about me, right? And she's been almost nothing but encouraging. No, not almost. She's been nothing but encouraging. She likes the product. She sees the sense of joy that I'm experiencing, and so then she experiences that also. And I'm a different person since I started doing art. So as far as success, I would consider my life highly successful in that I really have done a lot of what has been important to me lifestyle-wise, and it's felt really good and really healthy. And how awesome is that, right?